Well, that's you bring up a good point, because with the Cobra name, we kind of have a little bit more power when it comes to getting certain people who it's very difficult to, get on an interview, or to really bring them in. So we will be doing some interviews with people that I guarantee you have not really seen much from, and it's going to be pretty cool.
As well as the guys who are the T-Rexes now,
right,
to this day.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of fun stuff.
The one and all. Well, there's too many legends here for me to handle. We got Cobra Rhodes and freshly back from Dubai, Monster Michael Todd. How are you, Monster?
Man, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, champ.
Appreciate the praise, Cobra. Appreciate the praise.
It's not praise, brother. Listen. I mean, we've had the talks at different stages of our life. You earned that, bro.
Always working, baby. Always working.
You put in that work. And you know what? It's always key word with me when you say goals. Tell me a goal you have not attained, a goal that you set for yourself.
The only goal that I don't have is overall #1 in the world, verified by the arm wrestling community. I believe at different stages in my career, I've been the best in the world. I just have not had that global recognition, and I'm ready to get it. And I agree with John. I will win 6-0. Yes, sir.
Are you happy to be home? I mean, I know it was probably a great time, but it was a long time too.
Man, I'm going to tell you, we had some of the most amazing life experiences, things that just, we had dinner at the highest man-made altitude in the world, at the 122nd floor of the Burj Khalifa, right? And then we stayed at a 7-star hotel in Abu Dhabi. I have memories that I will have forever, but I am glad to be back. It was great. Training with Larry's awesome. He's very motivated, but this is where I'm going to be putting in the work. So getting back home, we have a lot that we're going to be doing, bringing in a lot of people, filming a lot of content here in the Monster Factory. But yeah, dude, it's just, I got 4 grandbabies, I got dogs, family. We were gone for 7 weeks. So getting back home, just I'm 8 days into a 10-day eating binge, so I'm about 280 right now. But we're gonna finish out today and tomorrow, and I'll be back on point on Monday. I'm not missing the work though. I'm still putting in the work.
All you guys in this chat, look at that guy right there. It didn't happen overnight. That's a lot of hard work.
So Cobra and I have known each other. We met each other in 1992 in McLean, Virginia, at the national championships. We both pulled the 176-pound division. He took first, I took 7th. We've known each other for a very long time, right? But that's back when Cobra was traveling the world in an RV across Europe. I mean, he was doing the shit back then that I want to do now. It's just now we have a platform. Now we have and that's what this match is. That's what this Dubai event is. And people are not grasping it. As much as I'm a fan of arm wrestling, I love matches. I want to see all that. That's great. But this is a chance for us to expose arm wrestling to the world on the biggest stage ever.
And I'm so happy for
I mean, what Larry Wills is doing, there's never been more eyes on arm wrestling ever. We have our first arm wrestling channel that has 1 million subs. Schoolboy, Alex are doing great things. But we have an opportunity right now with the people that are involved to take this sport to the level we've always wanted it to be at. People are getting on my YouTube telling me, oh, so it's just about money. Oh, it's just, the difference between Eastern and Westerns is it's about legacy. I'm like, no, I've been doing this shit 30 years. There's not an Eastern European arm wrestler that's still competing, that's been in this thing 30 years.
Thank you very much.
At this time, it is time. I don't know how many matches this right arm's got left. I turned 48 in June. I'm going to capitalize, not just for me, but the arm wrestlers coming up. We're going to make this a real sport that people can make a living off of.
You, myself, and 90% of the arm wrestlers get in the car and run and hit a tournament with 4 or 5 guys in it.
Some of the best memories I have.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's the shit that I miss. You want to get an RV and roll now? We can do that now. I like that shit way better than what I'm doing right now. There's way more pressure right now. That's the fun shit we used to do.
Wasn't it fun? And you drive.
And that's the thing. We paid our dues. Yeah. I mean, I pulled 35 tournaments in 2001. I mean, shit.
35?
I pulled 26 in 2000 and 35 in 2001.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know how many, some years, I don't know how many classes I pulled. But Uncle John, I'll tell you, we would go to these shows and jump in these classes and arm wrestle. And first place, they gave you a hot dog. You know what I mean?
Damn is a good hot dog.
You had to win 2 classes to get some mustard for that. You know what I mean? Pretty much, that's what it was coming to. But there were gnarly arm wrestlers there, and you did the best you could.
No, the best shit was what we did after. The matches we had after the tournament. Nags Head Beach, North Carolina, they didn't pay out.
Oh,
pay out 10,000 at the Great American Shootout. They pay 1,000. But afterwards, we're having a blast. You know, we all showed up. Cleve Dean, Gary Goodrich, David Randall, John Brazine, Cobra, Ron Bath, everybody. I take third in the 210-pound class behind John Brazine and Ron Bath at 20 years old. But we had a hell of a time at that event.
Yeah, we had a hell of a time at that event. I think we got paid in T-shirts, wasn't it? I think we got paid in T-shirts, bro. Gary was pissed.
Yeah. Gary, I mean, people came out. It was supposed to be $10,000 per weight class.
Right. I know. I won a class. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
And I can remember his speech when he stood up there after Tom and said, "Boys, men, athletes." Do you remember that? That's right before. Those are the 3 words he said before he let us know the sponsor ran out the room.
That's good stuff. So have y'all talked about RVJ Bowen yet? Were y'all talking about that?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I've spoke to Ryan about it quite a bit. And people are like, "Oh, I'd rather see this match. I'd rather see that match." Whatever, man. Make matches happen. Let the masses see our sport and fall in love with it. It doesn't matter who it is. It has to be, especially if it's not a promotion putting up the money. If it's Ryan Bowen going out there and selling this match himself, then let the man. I'll give him all the support in the world. Go do it. Make it happen. It's only when you have someone else putting up their money that the match has to be viable, right? It has to be something that like people are talking about. I can't put numbers out, but if Levan and I happen, it's the largest supermax payout in the history of arm wrestling.
It might be the largest purse in the history of arm wrestling, not supermatch, anything.
It's the most money either one of us will have ever made to show up and to win.
Wow.
Oh.
That's impressive.
And they didn't bat an eye when I told them how much it costs. So that's what I'm trying to tell people.
You're at the right restaurant, buddy.
We've been around this sport for a long time, and there's been a lot of wonderful people tried to make arm wrestling attractive to the masses, right? And a lot of them had great plans. They just ran out of money. That's always been the case. We've never had, I always said, either some big corporation is going to fall in love with arm wrestling or one of us arm wrestlers is going to win the lottery and fund it ourselves. I never thought about, we'll just go to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's a different, all you have to do is let them see how amazing our sport is, and money will not be a problem. They already know that we're athletes. They can tell that. They can tell that we've dedicated our life to this craft. And they see the behind the scenes. They saw me and Levan going 200 miles an hour in a McLaren, right? You know, you get to see that we're people, not just athletes, but the fact that this sport can bring people together, right?
It always has.
Exactly. Cobra, you've been around the world. We both have. We've seen this sport. When you can be in an elevator and you can't even speak the same language as a person, but you guys have that commonality that you're both competitors. You both know how much work you put in. You got that little head nod. I mean, it's a different sport. It's a different culture. It's a different camaraderie and community. And all we have to do is expose that to the world, and they'll fall in love with it just like we did.
I couldn't agree more. And Michael, you mentioned match or matches. Can you say anything about at this event where you could be taking on Levan? Is it going to be an event? Like, it will be an event, but will it be a multi-match event? Different pulls?
Uncle John, yes, it's going to be an event. Michael's too busy to train me, but I'll take the first fight on the undercard.
You know the door is always open, Cobra.
Hey, Mike, why don't you get me in shape so I can be on the undercard?
There you go. You know where I live, and I got a pretty cool gym. So come on down. Next contestant, baby.
but you know, weights and me. Oh, I'm a baby. You change that.
Consistency, baby. That's all it takes. All you got to do is get in there, start working, and then just each week improve. Just be a better version of what you were last week, and just stick with it. You know, you can do this, man, if you want it. And that's what it comes down to.
You've said it 100 times to me. I know.
You got to want it, because the shit ain't easy. But
God, I hate it.
So as far as the card goes, there could be one undercard match and one main event match. It could be bigger. That could be it. I don't know. It just depends. It depends on what the promotion wants to do. We're not trying to dilute the card by adding a bunch of matches. We're trying to just make one really big bang. Because if this big bang happens,
I'll just come out and sing and dance before your match.
I'm sure you'll do a great job at that too. You know? But yeah, man, it's for one, just to be in the room. If that match can happen, just to be in the room will be something special.
So Cobra, what do you say? I know you mentioned a little bit about your thoughts on RVJ, but again, That's
before the monster took over my show.
Right?
Okay. No, I can't think straight now. No. I believe right now, just as a gambler, I've got to put every piece of money that I can pull out of my linty pockets and every bit that I can loan from Wall Street, I've got to put it on the New Englander. I have to, only because of his work and his body of work that I've seen. Like the body of work that I've seen when I explained about the monster and Levan. The body of work, the will to not lose. And RVJ's got it. I mean, I'm a hand man. And the one crazy thing about RVJ is that he does have a hand. But he doesn't use it all the time. He doesn't need it. He's buttering guys, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. When it comes out, let's run up the prop bets.
It'll be interesting. We'll see if ArmBet has betting on the app by that point.
Hey, Mike, wait a minute. There's a phone call. Hey, let's just stop this conversation right now. Mike, can we talk after this feed on the horn? Can I call you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I just gotta a recipe.
Yeah. So right before we leave, Michael, what is your at this point your prediction for RVJ and Ryan Bowen?
All right, so I'm gonna. I was not genetically gifted to be great at arm wrestling. I just work hard, right? Mm-hmm. I see the same thing with Ryan Bowen. He is very consistent with his effort. He is very consistent with his work. If I was to bet right now, I would say RVJ, because RVJ is one of the most genetically gifted arm wrestlers our sport has ever seen.
True.
Because he's so genetically gifted, he has not had to work as hard.
Look at his shoulders, man.
Dude, he's a specimen, right? But he has had his sometimes he lacks motivation, right?
I get it.
And I believe he is a person who says he is motivated now. That being said, it's just a matter of time before Ryan surpasses him, in my opinion. But I do believe RVJ is the favorite now and potentially could still be in 4 to 6 months. Much past that, I think the entirety of Ryan Bowen's commitment to his craft and his commitment to being, extraordinary, he will surpass RVJ, in my opinion.